Good afternoon, welcome to Toffee TV. It is Tuesday the 15th of July. Everton have completed their third summer permanent signing, John. Mark Travers, we knew. We knew yesterday.
Is he a goalie?
He's the keeper. Has joined the club, unsurprisingly, for an undisclosed fee, which is fine, but it's thought to be around 4 million.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday, yeah.
But Everton have needed a goalkeeper. 2 went out the door, and they've needed the number 2 keeper, and they've landed on 26-year-old Mark Travers from Bournemouth. So, done quite again. Another one done seemingly quite smooth.
Yeah, seems so. Seems so. I mean, we are clearly always going to find it easier, in theory. We're such a big football club and exciting times and all that to do the non-starters, I suppose. Yeah. And that's where Michael Keane comes in, and now this fella and others, and clearly we're going to go off to the States sometime very soon. I don't know when they're planning to fly out.
Monday, I think it's Monday.
Yeah.
But not confirmed.
So then you really have to focus and zoom in on the ones who are going to start. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And people need to hang loose a little bit, because you can't do it all in one go. We talked about it last week, or God, time flies. Maybe it was earlier.
No, it was last week.
But you've got parallel things going on, and they land when they land, don't they? And this isn't a priority order, is it? You know what I mean? They haven't said, a number 2 keeper is number 1 priority, but it's easier to do, and it's quicker to do. And no doubt the team identification's long since been done, hasn't it? The actual recruitment, and therefore the financials are happening in parallel, and they pop out the pipe when they pop out the pipe.
Well, hopefully there's a right winger popping out the pipe in the next day or so.
Should be in progress, shouldn't it?
I know there was a link last night with Conceição.
Was there?
Who has turned Everton down, basically, because he was on loan at Juve last year, and he wants to stay there, which is fine. But he's the right, at least he's the right type, exciting, quick, good, would have been a really good signing. Nice and lively, would have got people on the edge of the seat a little bit, but apparently he wants to stay at Juve, which is fine. You're not going to win everyone. You have a look and you say, like the look of him. What's his release clause? 30 million, right? We're happy to pay that. Is he interested in the lads being somewhere and wants to stay? Very much when we've had players in the past like Andre Gomez, or I suppose even like Alcaraz to a lesser extent. We've just had them on loan. A couple of teams sniffed around them and actually want to join Everton because I've been there. And you go, okay, we move on.
Fair enough.
So hopefully there is one in progress, and we can get that done. But who knows? David Moyes has welcomed Travers to the football club, as you'd expect, and said we're working on others. Yeah, and that can be whenever, can't it? You know what I mean?
Well,
we won't know, will we?
We reconcile ourselves with reality, which is we are going to go to the States a bit light. So we'll pad that out with kids, which will be great for their development, because they get experience and stuff, and they've had a bit of that already in Scotland, haven't they, of training with the first team and all those sorts of things. But it's okay for me. I mean, there's loads out there, Kev, talking about you, mate, who wanted it all done yesterday. But it doesn't work like that in the real world, does it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've got slightly different views on that, but that's fine. That's fine.
I know what our expedient is, and I have no doubt that if you asked anyone inside the process at Everton, would you have liked to have had more players across the line by now, the answer would have been yes.
No, well, my view, said this with Mike yesterday, because Mike, you've been able to seep into Mike's persona, that he's a bit calmer.
Oh, is he?
He's all right.
Won't last, will it?
It's
early on in the window for him.
Yeah,
he'll get all animated.
But I was just where I'm minus starters. That's my issue, is starters.
Me too.
So far we haven't signed a starter.
Yeah,
we've spent money, and we've got a really talented young striker in, and he may well grow into the starting thing. But there's a huge gap on the right hand side that needs sorting. And but everything else they've done is brilliant. And
Preaching to the converted.
They've done it seemingly
With a plan.
With a plan, I'm seemingly quite smooth. So that long may that continue. And this one's been done. It was mentioned last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And all that, and then it's gone along, and they've got the deal done. They had to wait for Bournemouth to sign their player they needed from Chelsea, because of course, when you're doing a bit of business,
Chelsea have been busy, haven't they? Chelsea
just do whatever Chelsea do. And somehow are the best place to carry on doing it. But there you go. And therefore, once Bournemouth have got what they needed and they were prepared to release him, he came up. He had his medical yesterday, as we said, and Everton have announced it this morning. So Mark said, I'm extremely proud and excited to be an Everton player. Coming in, you can feel how big this club is and the history that comes with it. You can really feel that with the fan base, the new stadium now as well, and the direction the club is going in. Is there a bit from David Moyes? Said, we welcome Mark to Everton. With Ashmere and Joao leaving the club over the summer, we were looking for a goalkeeper with a level of experience to support Jordan. We're continuing to work on bringing in more players ahead of the start of the season.
Absolutely. That last bit.
So, but that's it, isn't it? I mean, and ultimately, I guess, if I was speaking to David Moyes now, he'd be saying, my priority is we get them in by Leeds away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where in an ideal world, that's what I'm saying. If Everton got, I'm saying this to Mike yesterday, if Everton got a centre midfield player in, a winger before we went to America, I'd be on cloud nine. But if Everton got sort of like the right winger in time to get on the plane, I'd be calm about everything.
That's optimal.
Everything else, I'd just go, right, we'll deal with that as we go.
Yeah, that's
because
optimal.
we've got almost, when you're going through the team, we've almost got the team sorted. Anyway, we've only really lost Dukes, haven't we? We've only lost Abdoulaye Doucouré from last season. With the starters are all basically in place, other than that right-hand side, where most of the lads we played over there for the majority of the season aren't here. Yeah. Even Jack Harrison, who played every week ain't here. So
I'm sure
that's why I'm looking at it like that.
I'm sure the club share your
hope so.
Focus on where the priority is. And if not, they can just listen to any media they like, whether it's modern day stuff like us or whether it's legacy media or all points in between, who all can see the glaring hole in what needs to go into the squad as in a starting player. Yeah. And that's it. So they're doing it.
They need to, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So they're doing it. It's just that they'll pop out the pipe when they pop out. For all we know, and we don't, do we? Their priority, the player they want or whatever, is verbally done. And the current club said, oh, well, we've got to get this guy.
Yeah, of course. Listen,
and we'll never know those things, will we? But, of course, as we get to proximity to a deadline, and it's interesting that on one level, from a process perspective, the deadline is the end of the window. But I don't subscribe to people who say, there's 6 weeks to go yet. No, there isn't. The real deadline is that first game. Yeah. And if you worked backwards from that, you'd say, well, if we really, really believe we're focused on getting ourselves a pacey, right-sided player, blah, 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 that's going to be a starter, isn't it, that player?
Yeah.
And therefore, the first game we play, he should start, shouldn't he?
That's what you'd be thinking, wouldn't
therefore, how long does he have to be, at Finch Farm before the manager thinks, yes, you can start?
And that's why, that's why in an ideal world, if you were doing it, it'd be
no later than the end of the trip to the States.
But you want him out there, don't you?
You
because
would.
That's what I was saying to Mike yesterday.
Even if he just flies in to say hello.
Well, what it is it's not even, it's ideally, you want him out playing games, but ain't the games. That's key, of course.
It's getting to know the
But
place.
it's being able to, it's the manager, though, the coaches, it's the staff having the time away from the training pitch and away from the games to understand, make the player understand what's expected of them. Absolutely. Showing them all the video. You can do all this when you're away for 11 days. You sit with them and go through the stuff, and it's not, they haven't got other things in there, sort of line of sight. Got a game at the weekend, what's all the information there or whatever. This is what we do, and I think that's why, for starters, I think that's why it's key for starters. But listen, they'll do it when they do it. Construction Van Life on the Super Chat, thank you very much, mate. Says, hi guys, with the move to the new stadium this season, would that mean Everton have a wider PSR margin to spend next season? Should increase, shouldn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Well, go on, explain a little
Simple.
bit. Why?
More income without a comparable increase in cost.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we've just talked about what our little baby business is doing, you know, and in an ideal world, your income goes up by X%. And your cost inevitably goes up as well, but at less than X%, and that creates a gap called profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know we're going to get significantly more income from the new stadium because it's bigger and the ticket prices are higher, and there's a richer mix of corporate stroke hospitality, stroke premium, whatever phrase you choose to use. All those lead to much higher match day income. Now, clearly, it's a physically bigger stadium, therefore, being more people, more stewards, more this, that, and the other. Therefore, it's not all going to land in a place called profit.
Yeah.
But you would hope a significant amount of it will land in a place called profit. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. And the other thing worth bearing in mind, when you get into this almost feel-goody factor type thing, because we are going to be a centre of attention. So, you know, automatically our first game at Hill Dickinson is on TV.
Yeah, of course.
Automatically the first derby becomes the first derby at the Hill Dickinson, so that will be on TV, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Then you get indirect benefits then of increased match, you know, broadcast income. If we play well, attractive football, the stadium's bouncing, TV will love it. Therefore, we'll get more picks than we did certainly last season. Yeah. And of course, we go deeper into competitions, we'll have more games. So you can see there's an accumulative effect.
Immediately.
What clubs have done in the past, of course, is assumed, well, we're going to get to the semi-final of this cup and the semi-final of that cup, and we're going to finish in the top 6. Therefore, we'll have all this money, so let's spend it now.
Yeah.
No, don't do that bit.
Yeah.
But you will hope, and I would, if I was running the business from a P&L point of view, I would be spending money that I don't currently have. And that becomes almost an internal pressure to make sure that we perform to a certain standard because we need to cover it, but not mortgage the future.
Yeah.
So there's a balancing act between the people over here slowly, cautiously, carefully making sure priority number 1 is don't breach PSR, and the ones over here, so why don't we just focus on winning games? You know, cause and effect, you know, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So our turnover should increase significantly. And if we control cost, that's good. Where we're at the moment, cost creep would be a risk. You know, pressure comes off. You know, we've spent a number of years counting the pennies, and if someone somewhere just thinks, well, we only have to count the pounds now, you will spend more than you would have done. So the magic trick is both.
Where do you, and I know you've explained this to me before, but as the weeks go on, months go on, where are we up to with sort of PSR stroke squad ratio? And, I mean, do we know if is it gonna change next year and be just squad ratio?
I don't know, and I suspect no one does, because I'm guessing we don't.
Because it was supposed to change over, wasn't it?
It was an expectation that the Premier League would follow the lead of UEFA and move to squad ratio, which is more about the total cost of the playing or sporting side, we'll call that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And then they voted not to do it, didn't they? Leave it as is. Now, inevitably, when you change the rules, doesn't matter what the sport is, there'll be people looking at the proposed rule change and go, I like the old rule. And there's people over here going, well, I like the new rule.
Yeah.
And there'll be some, particularly in football, where the real biggies, the ones with the huge turnovers, Liverpool, Man City, those sort. I mean, City allegedly have just done a £1 billion shirt deal with Puma.
City have?
Yeah. Worth £100 million a year. Right? Now,
how do you deal?
Now, people, if that's true and, you know, whatever, people will run mad with, well, they've got off with the 115 then, haven't they? Yeah, and all that sort of stuff.
Well, that's the rumour they have anyway.
Yeah, because why would Puma do it? You know what I mean? But they'll all be subject twos, won't they? Yeah.
But even so, them numbers are crazy.
Of course it's crazy, right? But that's £100 million a year.
Crazy money.
Which is clearly crazy, right?
£100 million a year?
For 10 years.
Compared to what's our commercial revenue for the year, John? Just put it into context for us.
Half that.
Half. So they've done one deal with a manufacturer.
Yeah.
And it's double Everton's.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Bear in mind, Liverpool, as an example, their wage bill's more than our turnover, like significantly more. right? And I was joking with somebody the other day in the car, and I was thinking, well, you know, it might be, you lose track, don't you? Talking about football all day, every day, but you know, we have this wonderful little challenge called increasing our turnover. Yeah, but if we compare ourselves with our nearest neighbours, they shouldn't be gloating that we haven't won anything forever and they have, or they beat us, or we shouldn't be. We're not in the same league from an affordability point of view. Their turnover is 3 times what ours is. Their wage bill is bigger than our turnover, or it was last time I looked, and so on and so forth. Their ability to, you know, pay big transfer fees and amortise them over a period, blah, 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 are all greater than us. And yet it doesn't reappear on the pitch as that. It's a gulf, but it's not a gulf appropriate to the amount of money, is it? No, right? No. Which is where the magic trick comes. If we think 7th gets you into the conference, and you were right, I think, yesterday, or whenever it was yesterday, I think, when you said UEFA have done Palace a favour. Because I'm with you, by default, the English Premier League's representative in the conference should be favourites to win it. If they win it, they're in the Europa League next year. That's 2 years of Europe instead of 1 year of Europe, right? Yeah. But the cost of moving from, say, 7th or whatever it turns out to be, or 8th, to qualify in the conference, to get to 6th, to get to 5th, you know, is massive. You know, they can have really crap seasons. As City, you might think they had a really crap season last year, and they still end up, well, what, did they finish 3rd or something, right? An appalling season, they finished 3rd. Yeah. You know? Yeah. But you also see that when you fall off that treadmill, as perhaps Manchester United have for a season, what happens when it becomes 2 and it becomes 3? And all those players who go, and it's an easy excuse, isn't it? Oh, I want to play Champions League. They're not going there then, are they? You see what I mean? So it's there's a little mouse running around in this thing, but it only works as long as you keep running.
As long as you keep running,
you know, and if City get slapped down, that'll be a real issue for them. Or Arsenal have a big decision to make on the manager. You know, how long can he keep having a go and finishing 2nd or 3rd? Because we're not getting there, are we? You know, so this perhaps is his last summer window, and he better produce. You know, what gets him out of jail? Winning the FA Cup doesn't get him out of jail, does it? He won that in his first season.
It's the league, isn't it?
So it's the league or the Champions League. He has to win one, you know. So it is interesting because you're right. City having a shirt deal that was allegedly half our turnover.
Double our turnover.
100 million a year.
Oh, half of our, sorry, I meant the commercial, total turnover,
And they get more TV money, and so on, right? So
I think that's the other thing.
Do we pull stumps out? Let's not bother then, you know? But the reality is you can get more bang for your buck.
But that's the other thing that I think a lot of people didn't sort of realise last season about Sean Dyche and his style of play, that Everton just stopped getting selected for TV. No one wanted us on because we were terrible.
Absolutely.
And fans were making some fans were making excuses for them. But it was damaging the club massively, because as much as we don't like games getting moved for TV and all that, we don't. It hits you in the pocket, doesn't it? The more you're on. And that's why you want to play a better brand of football. Now, the Hill Dickinson Stadium, to give it its full title, will mean that Everton are going to get more live games, which means more revenue coming in. That's what we've got to do, haven't we? And then we want to build the team so that the TV goes, actually, it'll be a great game. Let's get Everton, are really good to watch. Let's put them on there and put them on there and put them on there. And then that comes in, and that's how we have to drive these revenues up. Because when City can just do a deal like that, how do you battle with it? You've got to battle by getting most of your decisions right.
Yeah.
And then hope you'd have a little bit of good fortune along the way. And not be scared to sell players.
Absolutely.
Get them in, develop for a couple of years, move them on, put it back in and build and build and build. But everything has got to be in forward motion. It's difficult to do.
I mean, right now, I mean, one way to express, and just come to me while you were talking, right? If we look at us as Everton fans and we look backwards, say the last 5 years, I know there's troubles before the last 5 years, then you could almost say that the relationship between the organisation that was the football club and its fan base in those previous 5 years was one that was negative. That's being polite, isn't it? Right? Looking forward,
hugely polite. Yeah,
it has to be positive.
Got to be.
Draw a line in the sand And this is what Everton. I mean, I was seeing the trailer for Ross is potentially doing his documentary about Everton and all that sort of stuff, who we know. And I saw one of his trailers, and I think it was John Van, if you're watching, John said something which is true. Every season, notwithstanding what we just said, we all start equal.
Of course, yeah.
But others, some are more equal than others. It's that thing, isn't it? But you can have the hope, you can have the thing, you can whatever. So if you do the best version of yourself going forward, if we all rock up for that first home game in our brand spanking new stadium, the fan base are totally on it, then the players will play better, won't they? And then let's say we do the optimistic version, we win that game, undefeated at the Hill Dickinson. There you go, right?
Yeah.
And then you roll on to the next one, and then the next one, and so on. And you build momentum, don't you? In parallel, it doesn't matter about reality. Remember, we talk about perception, don't we?
Yeah.
If the perception of the fan bases, the leadership are doing the right thing at the right time, right? Then that's great.
Yeah.
And you build momentum. And we saw with Leicester all them years ago what momentum can do.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right? And there's no certainty, is there, about whether a Man United are suddenly going to get back on their perch, to use a phrase, or whether they're going to have another difficult season. Yeah. And if they have another difficult season, that's one slot in the recently traditional treacherous 6 slots. Yeah. That might be vacant.
Yeah.
And Newcastle fans will think, well, that's for us. Right?
Well, they're in it now at the moment.
That's what I mean. But
they?
that's for us. Tottenham fans will say, we're
on our way back.
We're back in the Champions League. We've got to stay in it now. And then the pressure goes on those other clubs of not going to be easy as it was last season for you to run away with the league, and all those expectations go with that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have to continue to do the right thing in the right way at the right time, and give the manager the resources he needs. And so when the windows close, we look him in the eye and say, well, what we expect is this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
correct.
And you're right, all the other things flow from it. If I'm the man picking the game, or the lady, whatever, picking the games for this game week 9, who should we have on? Last season, it wouldn't have been Everton, would it? It's too early for it to be a relegation fight per se. You can say they're down there, but it's not going to make people watch, is it?
No.
It's the last game of the season thing. Are Everton going to get relegated or not? And that's it. This old money is gone type of thing.
Yeah.
That's bound to be on live telly. But we probably ended up last season with 1 or 2 more than the minimum, did we? I don't know. I can't remember. But it all hits you in the pocket.
That's it. That was it. Just because you just mentioned the documentary, just giving a shout out to Rob Sloman has done the Goodison Park end of an era doc. It's available on Everton TV.
Is that the one that's in 3 episodes?
It's in 3. The first one's called Memories. Brilliant. Absolutely superb. And obviously lots of ex-players and players in it and all that. It's brilliant. So check it out if you've got the opportunity.
When's the second one out,
It's brilliant. Don't know whether it's this week or next week. Can't remember.
Because I haven't seen Everton tell us.
No. Well, if it might be will be within the next couple of weeks, the second one.
Yeah,
it's obviously,
you would hope so, yeah.
But it's brilliant. So
Which one are you in?
If you haven't. Can't say. Second one. But no, it's really good. It's really good.
The next one's the one then?
They're all fantastic. Accrington tonight.
Yes.
First pre-season friendly. Pre-season gets underway.
Stanley, you a day.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. Throwing it in. Danny Bryan says hope to see 30 minutes of Barry tonight. He was in Mykonos on Sunday, so I don't think he's going to be involved tonight. Don't think any Pickford, Garner, well, they won't. Willie Pickford and Jai Garner won't be involved either. It'll be everyone who went to Scotland last week will be involved.
Everyone the manager thinks needs more training.
Well, it's just
more fitness
not
training.
Happen, is it? Yeah, it's not going to happen. So I think if you're looking at for the likes of Tierno Barry, it's going to be the summer series before you get to see him.
Yeah,
I imagine you'd get to see Pickford at the weekend at Blackburn.
Yeah.
Don't know about Njai and Garner. Maybe sort of like the last half an hour if they've done this week's training and they're okay. The manager might feel like they're all right to be in the squad for Saturday and they might get 25 minutes at the end of the game just to have a run out.
And then it's Bournemouth.
And then off they go then, isn't it? they've got over a week then, and obviously training in the States, they'll be ready for the Bournemouth game. It'll be interesting because there'll be a couple of the young lads, and obviously I'm saying yesterday to Mike, I'm looking forward to seeing Harrison Armstrong, see how he's sort of kicked on a little bit. And then whoever else the manager feels.
Armstrong's an interesting one, isn't he? Because he had a good loan.
I still feel like Moyes will loan him again.
He will.
I feel like he'll bring in 2 centre midfield players, and therefore Harrison will come out on loan. But who knows? He could make a big splash, and the manager's like, he said he's taking them to America, and the 3 games there are against Premier League teams.
Opposition, yeah. So he's going to get minutes.
If he does well, he might look and go, actually,
Similar situation for Tim, isn't it?
No, because I don't see him going on loan anyway. No. He's had the loan.
Proving himself, I mean.
Yeah, no, he's got to prove himself, absolutely. Yeah. I don't see him being loaned out. He had 32 games for QPR in the Championship.
Yeah, he's been
Send
there.
him back. There's no point. There's no point. So it's up to him now to start convincing the manager that he's a starter. Or certainly in contention every game to start. And I guess it's where David Moyes sees him. Does he see him as a genuine off-the-striker role like the Corey? Does he see him as an 8 alongside the Garner? He's definitely not a number 6.
No, he's not.
So, depends how Moyes looks at him that way.
That off-the-striker bit, quite a few of them can say, I'm having that one. And they just need to prove it to the manager, don't they?
But for me, there's only really 2 in the squad who can genuinely say they've got the chance to play there.
As a right now, yeah.
Just right now, and that is Irabunum.
Yeah.
And Charlie.
Yeah, totally.
I think Dwight McNeil it's probably his best position as well, but I'm not sure Moyes would see him there. And then when you look at others,
defend against.
Then you say Njai, it's almost so natural for Njai to go there, but I feel as though Moyes likes him out on the left more because he drags the ball in field and drags the fullback in with him, and that's maybe where we should be targeting. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a bit disappointed that we've allowed Chief to go to West Ham and haven't put up a bit of a fight for him, because he looked like someone who could become that raiding sort of left back that the manager wanted. Can also play wide left.
Maybe they know something we don't. Yeah.
He's a better player than we think he is, maybe. Who knows? But
no, who's in our pipe?
Oh no, but I don't know whether there's anyone
prioritising.
Yeah, I think that's more like it. Yeah. He costs 20 odd million, and I just don't think when you're doing, maybe in a different time when you've only got 3 to fill, maybe he is one you go for.
Yeah.
And maybe Everton have just looked and gone, we're not committing 20 million to a player who, when we don't have to, when we've got a big burning hole on the right hand side and stuff. So,
and going back to what we were talking about before about the stadium, that would be burning some of your upside.
Yeah. So I get it.
How much has he gone for?
20 plus add-ons, I think.
Yeah. So you're talking 7 mil a year plus his wages.
It's not
if
much.
It's a 3-year deal. No, it's not.
No,
much.
He's not going for 3. It's 5.
Oh, 5. Okay, that's it.
Young players don't sign for 3. Most clubs are sensible and have them on 4 and 5.
Yeah.
But there you go.
4 mil a year plus his wages.
That's nothing. Buttons.
Not in this day and age, it's not at all.
Absolute buttons.
And that would be in the spectrum of what we've saved in the wages of players who've gone.
Never mind. And Decore, £1 million a month just for those 2.
Yeah.
So Everton, there shouldn't be any issue there.
No.
Plus the rest they've gone out the door. So, but it will come down to having that bit of budget. Where do we spend it? And maybe they've looked and gone, we're all right with Michalenko. It's now, are we going to get someone like Reggie on, who we said yesterday, who's a free transfer, who's better than Michalenko going forward? It's not nowhere near as good as defender as Michalenko. And he's a free, so maybe you go, well, we'll take him. And
you're into first change choices then, aren't you?
But that's it, isn't it? And I think if you're Moyes, you're looking and going, well, ideally I want an attacking sort of fullback for the games when teams come and play a low block and we have more of the ball. And it is on getting your fullbacks higher up the pitch. But he would have been a good one. But yeah, I feel like he likes Njai. Oh, he might prove me wrong, but it feels as though he likes Njai out wide. Although you look at Illy and you go, there is some games where he probably would be perfect just behind the centre forward because he can dribble and get you in those
But you want
pockets.
some flexibility, don't you? In-game flexibility as well. I mean, you end up with the natural positions based on last season, albeit McNeil wasn't available till reasonably late.
No.
But I hate to think we're going to move in inside just so that we can put Dwight McNeil out wide.
I don't think that's...
So I'm with you. Moyes, if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it, do you? Right? So our left-sided fella is Ndiaye. Therefore, if Dwight McNeil wants to start, he's got to start somewhere else. Or he finds himself as a squad player almost. Yeah.
It's like anything though, isn't it? It's like any, really.
You can rotate. I think you can pull off the trick of keeping them all reasonably happy.
Yeah.
And they'll go deeper into the season then as well without getting overused.
It's, at the end of the day, it's about dragging everybody's level up.
Of course it is.
So if you drag everyone's level up...
And only for the ones we had last
Everyone gets
season, it only
better.
needs to be a little bit. And then you infuse it with something we don't currently have. Oh, maybe a really quick right-sided sort of player.
God, yeah.
Because you've got outballs and all sorts of games then, which gives relief to defensive, DMs, the whole 9 yards, isn't it? Play further up the pitch. Happy days.
It's
That way.
the... They've had the thing, isn't it? They've had the... someone just put the 30 of Liverpool's 38 games were televised live last season.
Well, there you go.
So that's a big old wedge, isn't it? As well as everything else that you
And
get.
if they're attractive, because particularly in the Premier League, you know, that you want those ones who bring the audience in on as often as possible. So it's almost like, you know, your absolute acute example would be all 19 home games for them are on telly and all 19 away games for them are on telly. Yeah. And that sounds like it wasn't far short.
I mean, a sticky Toffee Coleman says 15th or 14th at best for Everton this season.
I don't agree.
That's not, to me, that feels a bit mad.
14th at best? Nah.
I think that's about mad. Hang on, what does he mean? Hang on. Yeah, he's put that. Yeah, I think that's, to me, that'd be crazy. Everton will be, like I've said for ages, 10th. 10th to 12th, maybe. But could be higher than that.
The stretch for me is top half.
But
I would count 10th as top half.
But again, it's points, isn't it? We got 48 last year. We're expecting mid-50s.
Yeah.
And that could get you Europe, or it could get you 10th.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, isn't
And
it?
that's the thing. Points.
When you look at
positions
teams
after
like
themselves.
West Ham,
They might have a
the
challenge.
3 that come up will go down, it looks like. I think Brentford are in big trouble. West Ham are in big trouble. Bournemouth, who knows? They've lost some of the best players. If Semenyo goes like the saying he may well do, then they're in big trouble. Unless they've generally bought well. When I say big trouble, I mean they won't be doing what they were doing last season. They'll be not going to go down, Bournemouth, because they've got too many good players, but going a bit further down. Brighton, who knows what they'll do? They clicked this year. Last year they bought a lot of players. It was a bedding in. They had some great days and then other days not so good. So there's a Palace. If Eze goes and Mateta goes to Liverpool, then who knows what'll happen to them. So there's a lot of teams in flux there. United could be good or could be struggling again. So you don't know, do you? I think
Everton needs to get lots of players.
Wolves. No. So you've got to just look. Got to look where we are, and our general thing is sticky Toffee Coleman. That's fine, mate. But people said no chance when I said Everton had finished between 11th and 14th, and I'm pretty certain Everton finished 13th, and I said that in January. So you just look at Everton got 48 points the last 2 seasons, and last season we didn't even start kicking a ball till January. So Piv said no chance of Everton, in his opinion, getting into Europe. If you said to him, you had the conversation and said, where will Everton finish? He wouldn't say 14th.
How many points did we get in the first half of last season, Baz?
17.
How many did we get in the second half?
What did we get? 20. What did we end up? 48, 32, 31, 48, not 32.
If we got 31 points in the first half of the season, which would be David Moyes achieving in the first half what he achieved in the second half with a lesser squad, we wouldn't be sitting here going, 14th at best.
No, listen, you never know.
We'd be right up there, wouldn't we?
You never know.
So it's about when you gather the points as well.
Yeah.
Because momentum would be in full flow then, wouldn't it?
I think David Moyes would be on sticky ground if Everton finished 14th or 15th next season with the Friedkin group. I really do. With the ownership group, should we say? You won't call them with that.
No,
because he will look, and I think he'd be fuming.
He would.
Yeah, than when he came in.
Yeah.
He would be absolutely fuming. But listen, you just never know. You never know. I'll ask him right now where he thinks Everton will finish. This second.
Are you sending David Moyes a note, are you?
The piff. I'll message him. Right this second.
You won't get a number. You get a bracket.
We'll see now. We'll see what he says. There you go. He'll get back to me before the show goes and I'll tell you what he says. But anyway, I'm not. Me and Andy have. I should have took money off him last season.
Well, you've asked him the wrong question.
Know what I mean? But anyway, who cares?
You've asked him
we'll know what we will know in May, where we finish, won't we?
You've asked him the wrong question, though.
Well, no, because I want to see what he says, because he's typing right now.
But the question is, because he must be listening, Andy, what we really want to know is how many
He's
points...
working.
How many points do you think?
Yeah, he thinks, at this moment, 11th.
Yeah. How many points is that, though, Andy? How many points are you...
He's not listening, John. He's working. He's very busy, but he's obviously seen my thing come up and he's gone, I'll just give him the thing.
Yeah.
11th. But James Graham's right, though. Everton will finish between 1st and 20th, 100%.
But a conservative chap who works in the industry said 11th.
Yeah. And it's squad depth right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
totally.
Listen, again, it's almost a moot. There's not even a point even discussing it, is it? It's July the 15th. Mm-hmm. September the 1st, Everton might go. You might close the window and go, we've done well there. Bloody hell, with Moyes as the manager. And that squad, them players, gee, we're going to be knocking on the door. Because no one would have said Man United and Spurs will finish 14th and 17th or whatever it was, 15th and 17th, would they? Nobody. No. So we'll see. You never know. Everyone's got their own opinion. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when it all shakes down. But I'm quite confident we'll be fine this season. And
so 11th last season,
do well.
Got 54 points.
Yeah.
So he's bang where we are. Mid-50s.
Yeah.
High end 60-ish, low end 50-ish. You know?
There you go.
60-ish has got your top 8.
Yeah, it doesn't say. We got 48 points with Sean Dyche. So that tells you the level of the Premier League. We got 48 points last season when we didn't kick a ball till January really.
Right.
So we'll see anyway, won't we? Let's see what happens. I'm more concerned about us getting a right winger in. That's all I'm really bothered about right this second. I'm making sure I've got enough sun cream for Florida. Wishful thinking for New York. Gary Ward says, Hardy Fletcher says, good evening, fellow Blues. The way Everton have conducted themselves is competitive, to say the least. We have to keep this momentum going in order to achieve maximum success in the future. Fair play, Fletch. Fed says, if the two things I'm sure of in this life, it's Ped goes running. I'm honest, this from yesterday.
Amateur.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why that's my thing. Hasn't refreshed. Let's go again.
User error.
I've just done refresh and it was on. I just started reading comments. It was from last night. So I was thinking, Ped, I've definitely read that one out last night. Definitely. Fletcher was loving it. Nick Dutton says, really good backup keeper is Travers. Yeah, it is. Definitely he is. Paul Davies says, got Big Jord, now Big Travs. Gonna piss the league this year. No worries, up the Toffies. Gary Ward says, howdy. Richard Jones says, good afternoon, chaps. Just wanted to say I finally joined as a Premier member.
Good man.
Thank you very much, Richard. Welcome, my friend. Ian the Blues says, afternoon. Thanks to John for helping me get back on. I really appreciate your time and help yesterday.
You're welcome.
Absolute star. There you go. Mikey says, afternoon from a sunny Luxembourg, lads. First time catching you live. Enjoy Luxembourg, Mikey. And hello. Richard says, question for John. If the independent regulator goes through later today, does that mean that the corruption in the Premier League stops? And what does it mean to Everton?
If the regulator goes through today, nothing will change today.
Yeah. What should it, at best, what would it do, John, do you think, at best, for football, say, for the Premier League?
I think the truth is, no one knows. I think you know what my view has been almost from day one. Apart from, you want the minimal, if zero, government involvement in the manipulation of what goes on in the national sport, blah, 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 right? But at the moment, far too many people think the world's just going to become a better place simply because we have a regulator. And the scope of what the regulator can and can't do, the things that most people potentially are uptight about, are not going to get touched. It's not going to stop Man City getting a £1 billion shirt deal, right? And we don't know who the regulator is either, per se. Yeah, of course.
I've heard it's Sheikh Mansour.
And, you know, I've worked in regulated industries when I was working for many a long year, and the comparable would be that the market influencers continue to have influence on the market. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't hold your breath thinking everything's going to suddenly become great, but it will be fascinating to see how fundamentally a regulator imposed by government interacts with a privately owned business called the Premier League, when potentially none of the members of that business want to be regulated by someone other than themselves. So whatever, you know, put your foot down to assert yourself as the regulator gets done first. It needs to be one that sticks. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the audience think they would want that to be. I can't think off the top of my head what I want that to be, because I start off from, I don't want governments interfering with football. Yeah. But what about you, Baz? If the regulator made an edict and they all had to comply with it, what would you want it to be? I think the regulator, to a degree, while you're thinking, might just focus on some of the things which are easier to do, like sorting out the relationship with the Football League, making sure more of these riches end up at grassroots football, those sorts of things, rather than how do we stop countries owning football clubs? How do we do this? How do we do that? How do we do the other? And so it's not the regulator's job to create a competitive environment, but it is the regulator's job to make the environment, if it's supposed to be competitive, not skewed by certain behaviours.
Yeah, it's, again, listen, I've no idea. You hope that someone coming in would make it a fairer and more transparently run organisation. But
Premier League itself.
Yeah, but again, like you said, don't know, mate, that's probably pie in the sky, really, wanting that kind of stuff, because it's, you know, Everton and Forest will be, like they said, probably the only two teams ever done the way they were done, and that's absolutely scandalous. The Premier League, Everton, whatever it was, 10 million quid or more than that off our thing, because they took that off us, dropping us down places and took all sorts of revenues off us, things like that. So I want a salary, not a salary cap per se.
Mike was saying that yesterday.
But the only way to balance it all out is to either do a maximum spend and a maximum spend means that it pulls back Man City, Liverpool and all of that, and enables who's just come up, Sunderland,
Leeds,
to spend to spend a similar amount, and you can all, if you can generate, you can all spend it, right? That way, it might pull gaps closer to each. Other. A salary cap would be the perfect way to do it if you really wanted to make it a fair and competitive way. Would be a version of fantasy football. So in fantasy football, if I'm playing it, I get £100 million to spend on my squad. I can have Isaac, and I can have Erling Haaland, and I can have Mo Salah. But it also means I have to have Michael Keane as my captain and other players who are, I'm just using him because he's a fourth choice Everton player. Joe Gomez from Liverpool's me right back because he's like a fourth choice Liverpool player. You know, someone at United who never plays, Lindelof last year, that kind of thing, to balance out the big earners. That's the only way to do it fairly.
But what does that mean?
There isn't any.
Because that starts from a premise that says, as a simple example,
everyone's equal.
Well, that's never going to happen.
No, I've just said to you, this isn't real.
No,
I'm saying the only way to create a fair competition is to do something like that. My opinion.
But what
My view.
and it's probably not for now, I suppose. The audience will decide.
But anyway,
you know, what's the definition of fair? Right?
Everyone's got the same chance. That's literally
never going to happen.
No, but that's literally the definition of fair. Well, it is. And competition. If you actually look up competition, anyone can win, but anyone can't win.
Well, sorry, there's levers that allow that. When you say anyone can win,
we had this. I'm not going in because we had this yesterday. I mean, none of us come to the agreement. Me and Mike come to the agreement. You didn't. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
I just say what I said before. Don't expect the regulator to give.
No, I said that. Yeah.
Yeah, to give you the nirvana that you want.
Yeah. No, I know.
But there's a question there which is interesting, right? Do you think? It's rhetorical because I think I know the answer. Do you think the regulator should impose upon the members of the Premier League stuff they don't want to do?
Probably, but it won't because it'll be a vote, won't it?
Well, no, because if the regulator imposes it.
Okay, then yeah.
Right? If the regulator says, for example,
it has to happen.
You will have a salary cap.
Yeah. Then yeah.
Because I think that'd
be lovely. It won't happen.
Well, that's when, you know, you almost get into a realm of, well, you know what, we're the big boys, we're off. And we go fantastic, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But fair is everyone has a fair attempt at doing stuff, right? And I think the reset opportunity, which I think what you're saying is the regulator a reset opportunity to say those who managed to get their status when it was the Wild West now have to start from the same place that everyone else starts from, right? I.e. tomorrow type of thing, you know? Now, there's only two ways of doing that. One is to stop those who got what many might perceive to be an unfair advantage because it was the Wild West when they were getting loads and loads of money. Chelsea being a good example, I suppose, right? So that's that one. Or, i.e., stop them being allowed to spend. Or the alternative is to allow the lesser ones, which you would use the example of a newly promoted team, to spend more. And when we've chatted on the channel, there's 1,001 ways of doing this, isn't there? None of which the people with a vested interest are necessarily going to vote for. So therefore it has to be imposed upon them.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? And to get it imposed
that's
upon them...
my point. That's what I'd like. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. But that's what I would like.
So we use that with Everton as an example. You would say that where you finish in the league might dictate what your local cap is. So you say about Everton, well, you can now spend more than Liverpool because they won the league.
They won the league. That's like an American way of doing it, isn't it? Yeah.
But then you're still going to have the realms of, well, if Everton's income doesn't support spending more money, then and the owners don't want to put the money at risk, it won't make a blind bit of difference.
No, it's not going to. No matter what you come up with, other than saying your salary cap is this amount of money, and every team's got it. And Liverpool, I'm using Liverpool because they're champions, not because of what. Chelsea's a better example. Chelsea, you can't have 61 players on your books.
Or you can, but you can't spend more than this money on.
You've only got that money to spend, mate. And therefore, no one's going to go to you. What it would do is it would stop clubs stockpiling.
I think that's a real issue.
It would stop clubs. It would stop people going to good players, choosing Chelsea, choosing Man United, maybe choosing Liverpool. Ones who will play every week at other clubs. It would make them go, do I really want to go there? But it'd make the clubs buying them go, do we really want to pay? Let's use Liam Delap as a case in point, right? Do we really want to pay Liam Delap £200,000 a week
to get a game every now and again?
30, then that's going to take a chunk of our salary cap when you ain't going to play. That's the only way you'd see a fair. It's never going to happen, so I understand it's pie in the sky.
Yeah, but there's a cost cap right now if you play in Europe, isn't there?
Yeah, but there's still the income gets rid of the cost cap almost, or it doesn't. It just gives you the ratio of it. If my income's £1 billion and yours is 100 million, I'm not bought my 70% of me billion compared to yours. You know, I can still have 700 million, but yours is 70 million. There's a bit of a difference there, isn't there? So no matter what you do, you're still miles behind me.
Yeah, when we've talked about this in the past, we've said something like, as we were just discussed in a way, there's only two ways. You stop the people who've got lots of money from spending it all.
Yeah.
Or you let the people who by the natural course of thingy, are restricted in what they spend because of whether it's squad ratio or whether it's PSR or whatever it is, their turnover isn't big enough to spend what these guys spend, right? And I think it was Ped who first did it on the channel, where you say the amount of money a Premier League football club is allowed to spend, whatever that means, let's call it on players, for the 25 players who are in their squad, whatever, right, is dictated by the club with the biggest turnover. Yeah, not their own turnover, the biggest club's turnover, right? So if Man City have got the biggest turnover, 600 million or 700 million, whatever it is, and therefore you've got to keep your wage bill at 70%, the answer is 70% of 700 million for them.
Nice.
For us, it'd be 70% of 200 million. We'll never catch them.
No, that's it.
But if they said, no, you can still spend 70% of 700 million if you've got it, yeah? And therefore we could spend the same buying power
I get it.
as them.
Yeah.
But then, of course, that'd have to come from the owner.
No, well, it come from, Gary Neville said this, because he's obviously a club owner. So we done this on the overlap. And he was in agreement, it's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
And that number as well with City, you bring that right now. You don't say everyone can spend 700 million, because all you are saying then is, yeah, I could have the same car as you, but I might not be anywhere near being able to afford the same car as you.
Yeah.
But I can theoretically, I could go and buy £1 million house, couldn't I? I'd have to, well, I don't know how I could, because I couldn't get a mortgage for it, but you know what I mean, theoretically, and I'd have to, and it might cost you $1 million, you might go and buy that cash today.
Yeah.
Baz, you can mortgage, and your kids and their grandkids, and you'll pay this for 200 years to get anywhere near, you know what I mean, that kind of thing doesn't work.
Well, you're
but
right.
If the key to keeping the sporting thing on an even keel isn't to let Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle spend whatever they want, it's to bring their spending power right now.
No, that's what I said.
So it should be, maybe it's a £200 million, can't spend any more than that in the window, or 150 million, it's done. Yeah. Maybe that's the way, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah, but if you take a view, and it depends which way around you want to do it, and because we're talking here probably in an isolation where this is only the Premier League doing it, right? So that then will give the buying power.
It's done, isn't it?
But anyway, there's two ways, as we were discussing before. One is you let everyone spend what the club with the biggest turnover can spend. Or you say, what was the turnover last season? Bad example because it's Tottenham, but yeah. What was the turnover last season of the team that was the lowest placed team that didn't get relegated? Yeah?
Yeah.
And say that was 200 million, the turnover.
Yeah.
And you say, amount allowed to be spent on players next season is 70% of that, or 80, or whatever the percentage is. If it was 70%, by definition, the answer would be 140 million, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Liverpool's wage bill's double that. They'd have real issues. Yeah. Now, unless that's imposed by somebody, and I don't know how legally you impose it on a private members club, then all of what we're talking about isn't going to happen. But if you can do it in a way that, because you're going to have a transition, aren't you? You constantly announce to all these footballers who've got 5-year contracts, by the way, and maybe that's where Chelsea think they're being cute. If something is applied, the impact on them will be 8 years in the future because they've signed an 8-year contract with somebody, you know. So it all spins back to the same place. You know, this regulator isn't going to solve the ills.
No.
You know,
I know.
if this league...
It should be there, hopefully, to make things feel more transparent. Like, we did feel like we were getting stitched up time and time again. It's not last season now, was it? 2 seasons ago, didn't we? And it felt like it was unfair. And
I think what would be interesting would if the regulator immediately did a review of the internal processes of the Premier League and the Football League and see whether they're fit for purpose. Yeah. And as you just said, they've got graphic examples of, well, Everton failed a rule by X. Nottingham Forest failed a rule by greater than X and got a lower punishment.
Why? Yeah.
And that's dead easy for a true independent to say, explain that to me. Yeah,
the answer is, who cares? Because it's not going to change. There's a huge fundamental issue with the Premier League, and a regulator ain't stopping it. Mark says, maybe Kevin Thelwell was right, there are no right wingers out there, so let's just cut our losses and get Willie Nonto. Blue Keely says, great to have a stronger backup to Pickford, to push Pickford even further, rather. Derek Cummins says, I think the window's going quite well. Lewis and Bakayoko would be my dream choices, but let's hope they don't get a nonso-like fixation on players. Blue Keely says, I'm dreaming, but Luis and a solid right winger, Kubo maybe. The days of looking over our shoulder will be over. Adam says, I say it's quite hard to predict who'll be in next, as the links are few and far between. We've got to get this right winger sorted as quick as we can before America. Looks unlikely now, which is disappointing. Whoever it is that's coming in must be ready to go from the start against Leeds, as we can't afford a slow start to the season like the past couple of years. Everton haven't won a game in August since Benitez was the manager, which is worrying.
Mad.
Paddy says, nice to have a relatively quick B-list signing. Speaking of broadcasting, is it next season the TV deals will be reviewed? Would much rather subscribe to watch than stream.
Isn't this the first
to watch
season of the new deal?
Is it?
Yeah.
So no, there's no chance of it changing, mate.
Well, it's about to change. Yeah.
Not to anything better, basically.
Loads more games.
They need to stop messing around now and just get the streaming app sorted. Tom Mack says, hi lads, we've definitely improved our number 2 keeper here. I'd be pretty confident with Travers between the sticks in Jordan's absence. Now we're buying good quality players, which is a positive. Richard says, for the first time in a number of years, I'm looking forward to the new season. It feels and would seem like we have our club back. Okay. Jacob Ramsey has been mentioned, and yes, I would have him.
Yes.
Blue Keely says, I'd be disappointed in all honesty if we don't get top half. Paul Davies says, sticky Toffee Coleman, more like sticky Toffee Deitch. Hey, each to their own. Lou says, could see Palace going for Dom if Mateta does go. Very surprised he still hasn't got a club, and the same with Dukes. Could honestly see a world where Dukes re-signs. Is Duke's ped Alessandro Pastoni? Yeah, the video sort of killed it, didn't it? Kevin Maloney says, our first game, vitally important. If we go to Leeds and put a beating on them, it creates positive momentum for us and demoralises them and puts them in their place. What if they batter us? Does the same then for us, doesn't it? Glenn Watson says, John, everything I touch turns to sold. Blaine.
Really?
True or false? We have enough goalkeepers on the books to currently have 2 on the bench this season.
False.
I think it's true.
Who's your third?
Tyra.
You reckon?
I mean, he was the senior goalie in Scotland. You can't go from being the senior goalie to not being involved.
Well, you can win the first 2, aren't they?
I think should be looking to get him on loan again, because he's had a couple of good loans, so he needs to.
I'd rather us not have 2 goalies on the bench.
Yeah, don't have 2 keepers. Yeah, where are we here? Paddy says, Gary Ward's howdy lulling you into a false sense of security with the comments. Yeah, it was. It was exactly what it was. Everton Viking says, very happy with Travers signing. Smart deal. Those deals are there to be had. Also, why was our lovely guest yesterday calling Miko Lenko? Thought we'd signed a new player. Michaelenko. Michaelenko even nada. Well, he loves calling him Michaelenko, doesn't he? But he's never going to beat Jack's Calvert-Lewin. Ever.
Who can't change it even when you tell him.
Ever. Jonathan says, question, which winger do you think we'll sign? I thought Bakayoko, but looks like that's dead in the water. No idea, mate. Seriously.
Ditto.
No idea. Jack Harrison. Andy 84 AFC says,
Click that bit.
9th minimum in the league, in my opinion. Hoping we get at least conference. No, it's true. They've gauntlet down there, hasn't it? Everton Viking says, finish my rewatch of all the old debate videos. Yesterday, listened to it on my commute to and from work. Some of the opinions that also changed in different videos about Lukaku was really good. It was really nice seeing the changes as we learn more as the time passed. Also re-listened to all of the Everton A Point videos. Ped was so pro Deitch for a while. It was crazy. You can change, can't you? Koeman, you guys didn't really want. Yeah, that's correct. Everton didn't really want him either, did they? Really?
No, they decided they didn't want him, but it was too late.
Yeah.
It was before he signed his contract, though.
Yeah, they could have just binned it.
Yeah.
Derek says, as John pointed out, Moyes' record. If Moyes' record was replicated through the season, we'd be top half. Plus, we had the third best defensive record in the league. More quality up top, which we're all hoping for. I'd be amazed if we were in the bottom half. Yeah. Everton Viking says, also just to comment, I disagreed with what Mike said yesterday. Understood what he meant in terms of saying footy isn't the same. But Moyes was my childhood manager, so I remember the things he did as if it's ingrained in my mind. His trips to the USA were huge bonding time for players. Moyes under Everton, mainly because of recruitment late, used to historically tend to start slow. I'd very much like Moyes to stay, even despite concerns over his transfers post leaving Everton. I trust him immensely with the players and on the pitch, but I think Mike was wrong about it being okay to wait to sign players. I don't think we can afford to wait till August to sign our main targets. The right wing and centre mid need to be in for America. We can do the rest, loans and squad players in August, but we need the main players bedded in. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree, to be fair. Kev Maloney says the way to make it fairer in a reasonable way is increasing the luxury tax. So if Man City rather spend 1.2 billion on players, they get taxed an extra billion, which then gets spread amongst the other 19 teams. What Kev says. Bill says can't even predict a finish when we don't know what squad we have yet. Correct. Jake says right winger and centre mid next. I also want fullbacks and another forward. And Danny Horton says good solid signing today, lad. Come on Blues, we need the right side sorted now. I think we're all in agreement that we need right side of players, aren't we? I don't think you'd get any Evertonian who would say we don't need that right hand side.
That's what I mean.
Sort of.
Everyone knows. Yeah. Therefore, notwithstanding being negative, if we don't get that player yet again, it's failure, isn't it?
Annabelle says,
hello, Annabelle.
Please don't think I expect the regulator to do a good job. I expect more of the same rubbish, and any intervention to make the game will make the game worse, not better.
Quite possibly, yeah. Two sides of the same coin. Right. Interference isn't good. Unless it's positive and we all have sunny day plans thinking it's going to be positive. It might not be. Might pee it down.
My only thing for it, I've got to believe it get more positive because it's been terrible. So if it got worse than this, then you may as well just not even have football anymore. Yeah.
Do you think...
Because it's a shambles.
No, I agree. Do you think, a bit like referees, when we're watching a footy match, we all think the refs are either good or bad, depending on what we're getting out of it? Yeah? Do you think, if you win the league, you think Masters is okay?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, he's okay if you're one of them 6 clubs.
Yeah. Because that's the point, isn't it? The tribalism amongst football fans means we won't get the change that perhaps the majority of football fans want, because it's not in the best interests of the minority of fans. Minority being those clubs who feel they... I don't think Liverpool fans think when they watch a game that they're getting all the favouritism.
No, they don't.
That we think they
I
get.
sit in here and listen.
No.
And listen to the fact they get robbed.
So I think
every week.
And this is pie in the sky. Yeah, well-organised fan activism from football fans in England will achieve or would achieve more than a regulator.
Yeah,
but we're never going to do it because of that tribalism.
That's what I said to you before. It's almost a moot point because it's. We used to do Ball Street years ago when Liverpool were 7th and 8th, and they spoke about City shouldn't be allowed to spend any money because they're spending too much money. Now Liverpool spend money like it's going out of fashion. They create a lot, don't get me wrong, but they do. So that's all changed. When you're not in the party, it's unfair.
That's right.
But there is 6 clubs who were looked after more than anyone else. And Spurs will slip out of that soon. If they don't have a good season this year, they'll slip out of it. And it'll probably be Newcastle who slip into it. It's rubbish.
It is.
Isn't it? But Rod says, John, you're wrong. We would only be allowed to spend what CFG be prepared to spend within a predefined spending limit.
What have I said that makes me wrong?
But Life is an Evertonian says, I want to say congratulations to Toffee TV for smashing past 100,000 subscribers up the Toffies. Thank you very much, my friend. Phil's right, all the plans to have spending caps would be ignored or legally challenged by the top 6. And only the 14 who wanted them would be held accountable. Yeah. It'd just be, listen, it's never going to change, that's what I mean. It's not. It is what it is.
We talked about that yesterday off camera, didn't we? Ultimately, it's like any, let's call it a democratic process. You know, everyone looks after their own interest. And there are clubs and ownership groups out there who are quite comfortable every single season finishing middle of the table. And therefore, they're quite happy to get handouts, we call it that, called broadcast income, which they probably deep down realise is mostly to do with worldwide Liverpool fans, worldwide Man United fans, and then all the new money around Man City and Chelsea, or Chelsea and Man City do it that way around. And they get that, and you can figure out who they are. They're the ones with small stadiums, done minimal investment in their stadiums, often talk about having a new one but never get round to it. Yeah, and they have players who those others cherry pick. And that's a business model that works, isn't it?
Sean Bennett says, I'm not looking forward to this season one bit. The window is a shambles. A lot of stuff should have been well done before the end of the season.
I don't think that's right.
Each to their own.
Well, that's what I was about to say. That was my follow-up, each to their own.
That's very much a minority view in the comments, Steve, to be fair, but yeah, it's like I said, all views are welcome, of course. Wilmo says you'd get players running down their contract so they can sign for a big club for free.
You get that now.
But in the cap, you get it now, and in the cap, you'd have to be accountable. You can't just go, well, yeah, we're just saying that we're only spending 20 million on this player, but we're giving him 100 million signing on free. No, because that has to go somewhere. Can't just have it where they just do whatever they want. Can you? Because otherwise it's, like you said, there's no way around it. It is what it is. So.
You know the biggest vested interest in that subject? Players.
Yeah.
Because the natural result of it is less wages. You know, the average would go down, the peak wouldn't. Someone's still going to pay huge.
The Blues, you're correct. I'm not even. I'm letting that slide. Yeah.
You know, the top players would always get paid huge sums of money, but the average salary in the Premier League is rising tide stuff, isn't it? You know, relatively average players on £5, £6, £7 million a year.
There's no way. Listen, it is what it is, isn't it? There's no way round it now, is it? It's gone. It's the horse is well bolted. So you've just got to get on with it. You've got to look to try to just sort of do the best you can. See where it leads you to, isn't it? Everyone's got up the game. Coaching staff, players, fans, owners, commercial team.
We're in a better place than most.
And we're in a better place than we've been for a number of years.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We've just got to go.
Be smart as well as whatever. We'll be in a good place.
Yeah. Alex, I don't know where you're going with this, mate. With Dwight McNeil. But I'll be surprised if he's still an Everton player this time next summer. Unless he has a good season, like a really good season. And hopefully he does. Hopefully he gets better and better. What we want for every single player.
Yeah.
Want everyone to get better and better.
Always. And Moyes will give them the potential to improve. Because he'll demand it, won't he?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? If Dwight McNeil can force his way in and it's a good level, brilliant. Because no one no one should be guaranteed anything. So, someone asked me about Conceição. Yeah, it would have been a good signing. I know it's just said he's chosen to stay where he is at Juve. He was on loan, wasn't he, Juventus? From Porto, I think. Or Benfica, one of them. Porto, maybe. Would have been a good player, but if he's played at Juve and really likes it, then why wouldn't he want to stay there? So that's fair play. Fair play. We'll see. We will see where we go. See if there's anything else. The Blue says on McNeil, unless we start playing with wing backs, I can't see Moyes using him as a key player. It just depends. It just depends whether if we change the system or whatever. But I can't really see Moyes change. He's never used 3 centre backs to any real level, so therefore I can't see that. I think he's all right behind the striker because he's got the left foot, the shot. For me, it's too slow either side. But just off the striker in those pockets. Zone 14, isn't it, James? That's where he's a threat, in zone 14. So let's see if we can get him into zone 14 a bit more.
Back to the 50s radio commentary.
You know, all that. Sean says, follow up, I'm just feeling slightly nervous. The season's getting closer. I know yeah, listen, there's a plan, mate. It was never going to be perfect. We know that, but we've got in a talented young centre forward who's done it in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. We've got in the backup keeper. Charlie stayed. There's lots more to do. Absolutely there is. I want the right winger in, mate. We need 2, but I want 1 in for now while they work on the other one. Let's see if we can get it done. But realistically, they haven't. I'm not saying this so everyone can, because I'm fit, but they've got till September the 1st, haven't they, for the season. But I'd love 1 in by the time they go to America. I really would. It's only Tuesday. They don't go till next Monday. They should be way down with 3, 4, 5 targets, all for the right-hand side, and then you decide which one you're pulling the trigger
Totally
on.
agree. You stick a twist time. Yeah, it really is.
Let's see. We just have to wait and see, don't we? Where we are. Check our Premier one more time before we go. Everton, of course, in action tonight. If you're watching it, Everton TV or streaming the game, it might be elsewhere as well. I don't know. But a chance to watch Everton.
It's expensive, isn't it?
Is it $7.50 for the 2 games?
Is it for both games? Is it just per game? Yeah, but is that per game or for the 2 games?
Not for both games.
It's not too bad then, I suppose, yeah.
I mean, Liverpool.
I think so. It's not
Liverpool were on ITV.
Call it what it is.
It's better for 2 games than for 1, but it's still a lot of money. Of course, yeah.
But that's it. If you want to watch it, I think you can either have a look around for it or you can pay the $7.49 it is for the both games.
And I wish all those who are doing that the stream holds up.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, won't we?
It's raining, says Pat.
We'll see, yeah. Yeah. Glenn, factor 30, my friend.
What's it? Taking what you're taking.
What factor do we use? Jonathan says they should flip the earnings so the winners get the least and they'll get Champions League money and the worst get the most Prem money. What about that?
There's 1,001 ways, yeah, but none of them are going to happen. So.
No. Richie says, do you know if there's anything planned as a pre-match build-up for the Roma game? There will be, but I've no idea what it is yet. There's obviously a Legends game afterwards.
Yeah.
Tom S says, listening to the Travers interview, sounds like Harry Tyler's going to be the 3rd choice.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
And Kev Maloney says, wouldn't a salary cap violate some UK labour law? The only way it works in Canada and the US is because all the players are in a single union. No idea, mate. It's never going to happen anyway. It was just thrown out there as a thing. It's never going to happen. It's absolutely pointless even talking about it. The rich get richer here. That's just the way it is. Paul Davey says, when Everton sign a right winger, Baz is going to let a blue flare off in the studio. That might happen, especially if he can run.
There is no chance of that.
Especially if he could run. Just get James to do me a blue flare graphic.
CGI, mate. Yeah.
CGI. Do we? Oh, Richie, what a G. Right, we're going. Like, subscribe, do all that. Me and James will be previewing the build-up to... In fact, yeah, watch this space. Me and James might be live again later, you never know. We will be if you're a Premier member. We might be on YouTube. Who knows? Yeah. You just never know. We're feeling that kind of day.
It's not good marketing, that, is it?
No. We're back at... Me and James are live on both at 5 o'clock today. Accrington build-up. There you go. You heard it first. I didn't even know until last second what I was going to say. But, you know, we got 2 people who won't even be here getting involved in it, having their say like that over the fence, as usual. See you later. Bye.